Tradesmen built America. Not policymakers or desk jockeys, but hardworking, blue-collared men and women. Join me, Roger Wakefield, on conversations with some of the nation's most successful skilled laborers. This is the Trade Talks. Did you have any idea when you started plumbing that you would end up being like the water filter king or anything?
Absolutely not. No. You know, when I started plumbing, it was just out of high school. So I graduated high school and I was looking for a job and ended up at a union shop. It was the warehouse boy, and that was running parts. And so I started my journey, in plumbing. But I had, 18. Got married when I was 21.
Okay, but hold on, let's go back to the water filter thing, because I don't think that anybody understands whenever they get into a trade,
right,
the options or opportunities that can be there in the long run. Going from being a plumber to literally having the most amazing water filtration system out there, that's not a leap that a lot of plumbers would take, a lot of HVAC techs, a lot of electricians. There's so many opportunities in our industries to make the world a better place. And somewhere along the way you did that. What was it about water filtration that made you think, wow, this needs work?
Well, I was in the plumbing business for 25 years and over the years fixing things, it's the water that broke it. So how do you give someone a solution and look at them and protect their home and family? If you just change the toilet and you don't change the problem, you're just changing the toilet. So it's kind of goes back to that, as fixing things and finding out what the real problem is behind the problem. And that's where technicians, today, it's not just the water heater broke. Why did it break? And addressing the issue, and the first thing they go, oh, it's scale, it's lime scale. Well, that's part of it, but there's the chemicals in the water. And I got very interested in it. And I had my 25 years in the plumbing, heating, air conditioning business. And I saw this opportunity in water. I started seeing commercials. And I'm that entrepreneur guy, I'm looking, I'm tired of what I'm doing, and I'm looking around and I'm seeing commercials for whole house water filtration. And I started thinking about it. Then I said, wow, and now I remember all those toilets I changed, Roger.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of toilets in 25 years. And every one of them, when you look in the tank, guys, there's a sticker and it says, if you add bleach or cleaner, the warranty is void. And it just started clicking for me. And I started looking into water more, and I started paying attention to what was going on in our industry and how we're service plumbers, but we're problem solvers. I mean, it's, from your very first day, your very first job, you're solving a problem. And it's your whole career, protecting the health and safety of the homes and family you serve every day, first and foremost.
So I want to say something here real quick, because something you said, the stickers inside the tanks, don't put bleach in or cleansers. Well, bleach is a chlorine.
Yeah.
And chlorine is what every drop of water that flows through municipalities has in it.
There.
To make that correlation between, wow, hey, it says don't put cleansers, bleach, the way they word it. Well, that's what chlorine is, y'all, in case you weren't sure. To make that, to tie that together and say, okay, it says don't put it in, but we're automatically putting it in. I love that. And it's really funny because I'll tell people how much chlorine is in water. One of my old service managers, after we started with Halo, literally went to a house, and when he did his test, he swears he's colorblind. So he couldn't look at the strips. He couldn't hold up the vials. He couldn't do all that. So he would always hand it to the customer. And he's in the kitchen doing this one day. He looks out and notices there's a pool in the backyard, and it's pretty. So, they've been taking care of it. So he says, hey, do you mind if I go out and test the pool too? Just to show you the difference. There was more chlorine in their drinking water than there was in the pool.
Gotcha.
And the homeowner had to tell him this because he's like, look, I can't see what shade of pink this is. And that just blew my mind. They have to put it in there so we kill mold, mildew, bacteria, everything that we're trying to keep out of the water. So clean drinking water, we've got to have it.
Gotta have it.
But I love the fact that you made that relationship. Look, don't put bleach and chlorine in your appliances, but we've got it in the water, getting it to the house to make sure it's safe for us to get there. That's a neat way to look at it and learn and say, wow, something needs to be done.
Well, that's exactly what we did at Halo. So we take out the bad, we leave in the good. So we remove the chlorine and chloramines. So chlorine, guys, is a bleach. And what happens is they lowered the amount of chlorine in the municipalities, and they had to have some more disinfectant. They added ammonia. Now we got chloramines, and they're very destructive together. The chloramines, copper pipe pinhole leaks across the country. Obviously, rubber gaskets are falling apart. If the gaskets are falling apart, what's it doing to you?
Yeah.
So
Here's what I think when you first said that. I remember I used to manage a restaurant. I told you I've got out of plumbing a couple of times or tried different things and whatnot. I was managing a restaurant, and as the general manager, you came in early on the weekends. You really cleaned your store. You did a lot of things. That way you're not wasting labor dollars having them do it. No, they can get you in there for free, Right. So I mixed chlorine and bleach to clean the kitchen floor.
Yes.
It ain't good. 5 minutes later, I've got every door and window that I can open in the restaurant open, trying to get fresh air to come in. That's a strong chemical mixture that it's just not really good. It may be a great cleanser, a great astringent, something to keep mold, mildew, and bacteria out. But man, it's not good in our bodies. I would never want to put that in my body.
Well, yeah, it's a disinfectant, number one, and they're responsible to deliver bacteria, clean water,
Bacteria free,
bacteria, no bugs, and they're also, people forget, is that they're responsible for delivering neutral water, which is neutral in pH, because acidic water will destroy your plumbing, as we know as plumbers. But so they're responsible for those two things, but they can't control the amount of bleach that they put in or chloramines in the water, because it's a municipality. They got pipes going everywhere, so they put in more here, more there. So you can, but on average, it's funny when you take that. We supply test kits across the country. Hundreds of them every day go out from Halo to contractors that want them. And, they're testing water, and the average every time they're testing is, most of the time, if not all the time, the chlorine levels are higher than recommended for a swimming pool. It's just amazing. This story was great. The colors are great. When I say Halo takes out the bad and leaves in the good, we're getting rid of the bleach, the chlorine, taste, odor, smells, but we're leaving in the good minerals. So we have, that test kit we supply, there's chlorine and chlorine, and it's an ammonia. Chloramines test for that, but it tests for pH. So there's a yellow color. The darker the yellow, the more chlorine. But there's also the pH level. And if I always have a saying in my trainings for 20 years, 2 decades, is if it's not red, it's dead. So there's the pH is pink, and if it's yellow, there's a problem. It's acidic, and then you need to treat the water and you want to add minerals in it to make it neutral. So I go, well, Halo delivers highly filtered alkaline water throughout the home. So what happens is we take out the bleach, which actually raises the pH, and it's supposed to be neutral. Once in a blue moon, when you guys are out there testing, you might find a municipality where the pH is not neutral. It's not red. It's dead. So obviously it's not going to be alkaline, but 99.9% of the time across the country, you're delivering highly filtered alkaline water throughout the home, which is $3 a liter, $12 a gallon at the grocery store, Roger. Halo saves you money, saves your home, saves your appliances, your clothes.
So take just a second and tell everybody who you are and what you do. Former plumber.
Former plumber. I got 47 years today in the industry, plumbing, heating, air conditioning. And, so I started, like I said, I started in the plumbing industry when I was 18, started my own company. I built a 60 truck operation in San Diego. I did that for 25 years, and then I moved on to water. And here we are today. We have My name's, if you haven't said, it's Glen Blavet. I'm the founder and CEO of Halo Water.
Let's go back to the beginning. You got into plumbing. How did you find a plumbing job? Why did you pick plumbing over electrical, HVAC, or anything like that?
Well, that's a great story. When I was just out of high school, my parents went to Minnesota, and we had a water main leak in the front yard. Believe it or not, I got a shovel, and I started digging from the water meter to the house. And I dug the same depth as it was put in, which was probably 2.5, maybe 3 feet. I only had to dig 12 inches. So I didn't know what I was doing, Roger. But obviously, I got that pipe in there, and that started my interest in plumbing, because I had to get the water from the meter to the house, and that started my interest. So then I looked for a plumbing job. I was out of high school, and I saw an ad for a warehouse job in a plumbing company close by, and I started in the warehouse. And then they were gracious enough to, they let me get in their truck and deliver parts. And I'm 18 years old. I'm driving a work truck. It was awesome.
It's like, hey, I have a company car now.
I had a company car. Man, I'm driving a truck. I'm dropping off parts. And, so I had to identify the tools. They had they put me through a program. They had a program actually where they would put out a pad. They put out a pad on the ground, and I'd have to match the fittings and the tools to the pad. So I knew what they wanted. So if they asked for an ABS 3-inch 45, I didn't come up with a 90.
I'll tell you what, that's smart. I like that. It's very interesting.
So I learned, I caught on quick, and then I graduated to soldering, and they taught me how to solder, and I was doing manifolds, and I just loved it. It was just a lot of fun. And I think it was really good for me to start new construction, multi-tenants. We did that. We did custom homes.
Hold on. Let's go back to warehouse.
Warehouse.
How long were you in the warehouse?
I was in the warehouse for about a year.
Okay.
And then they put me out in the field. And then
So did you let them know you wanted to move out in the field, or did they come to you and say, hey man, look, you're showing potential. You're here every day.
I was there. Well, I learned how to be on time, and I got there early, always, loading the trucks early, and showed an interest in it. And when they let me do something, I always did it 100%. And it was I just gravitated towards learning more. I got to solder. You bet. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And it didn't leak.
If you show up and do things right, they'll give you opportunity to do more things right.
That's great. And they're, a family-owned company, so I was blessed to work for a family-owned company. And they took me under their wings, and they showed me the underground. We were rolling copper pipes and manifolds, and these technical terms you guys might not know, but I enjoyed it, and it was fun. And they'd send me out on jobs to dig up for the underground. That's another term, right? You got to lay the pipes, and they'd send me out there with a set of blueprints. They taught me how to read them, and then send me out with a jackhammer, because the ground was so hard.
Hard because it's frozen?
No, it wasn't. Well, we're in California. Nothing.
Oh, okay. That's right.
I was in Beverly Hills, Mulholland Drive, where all the movie stars are. Okay. I worked for several of them, Johnny Carson, Ed McMahon, Flip Wilson. We did their homes. But the ground was so hard, the backhoes would bounce off the ground. So they got this 18-year-old Glen, because why don't you take this 90-pound jackhammer, and here's a set of plans, and start digging. The worst thing I did, Roger, I didn't dig it not deep enough.
Oh, yeah.
And then I had to do it again. Or I put it in the wrong place, and I was a foot off. Well, you only do that once, because you got a 90-pound jackhammer. And I was there all summer on that jackhammer. And then the following year, they started graduating me to carrying bathtubs upstairs. And
oh, yeah, I love that.
Loading the house.
I've carried those fiberglass glass tubs with the wall surround up 3 flights of stairs. I've been there.
We were doing condos downtown Long Beach, and the cast iron tubs were heavy. Well, there's a way to get them upstairs that most apprentices know, maybe not all you guys know. You can actually put it on your back, and the guy lifts the other end, and you walk it up the stairs 3 flights.
You bet.
A cast iron tub. I didn't get hurt. And it works.
No, it does. There's so many different ways to do things.
He says, bend over.
Yeah.
Let me put this on your back. I said, what? And it worked. I learned so much from the new construction side. I'm so grateful I started there, because I could see how the plumbing flowed, where the pipes were run, and then I graduated from there. I went from new construction and custom homes to service. And that was my calling.
Okay.
Working with people. I loved it. You know, I was talking to the customers and one-on-one conversations, and, you know, to see the gratitude when you show up, when they have, you know, waste flowing down their hallways, or they can't run their garbage disposal, and, you know, and I just like fixing things and solving. It was puzzle solving. It was problem solving. And that was my career. And I knew it, you know, after my first call, you know, when I changed a hose bib. The guy was trying to change his own hose bib. It was soldered.
And he's trying to unscrew it. Yeah.
So then I had to redo the whole manifold and you know, while we're here, we just put on a new regulator and a new ball valve. And God, I'm so proud of myself because I figured it out. I cut it in, I soldered it up, I closed the ticket, I went back to the office and handed my boss the invoice and the check. And that was the start of something special for me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was my calling. And I just excelled from that day, you know, making sure I listened to the customer is probably my success story, because they're going to tell you everything that you want to know.
Mm-hmm.
You
if
just have to listen.
And you got to ask questions.
Yeah, that's the
Some
question.
people don't know how to do that.
It's you learn.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you ask the question, you get the answer. You can kind of figure out what's important to them.
You hope so.
Yeah, we try. It's a battle for plumbers every day.
So you're learning to be a plumber. You're given new opportunities. What was it that made you want to be that really good plumber? That one that's like, look, I want to do this better than anybody else.
Oh man, I think all plumbers are competitive. So I mean, the shop I was in, they always had the leaderboard, and you know, and I was the young guy, and so I outworked my competition. I mean, that's an expression, right? You know, so I just worked harder, longer, and sometimes faster to try to get it done right. But I was very competitive. I think every plumber out there today is very competitive, and I just wanted to be the best at what I do. You know, and it's the more you learn, the more you earn. I'm sure you heard that one before.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So, you know, I'd take that code book home. You know, I would take every opportunity of extra training, because the smarter I was, the more work I'm going to be, the more things I'm going to be able to figure out. Not so much smart, it's knowledge, right? Learn and earn.
Yeah, you can talk to people.
Yeah, and know what you're talking about.
From an educated point of view and explain things and make things make sense.
Oh, it's so much fun. It was just a growth, and taking advantage of, you know, the after-hour trainings. You know, you're tired. It's 6 o'clock. I've been on a jackhammer all day.
Last thing you want to do is go sit in a chair.
No, and
in a cool room and sit there and pay attention and not go to sleep.
Yeah, it's tough for you know, for plumbers to learn that way. And that's how it was done. I've never been in a union shop. You know, I had a couple of times touches with the union, but I'm in an open shop, meaning it was privately held, and they didn't have set training when I was growing up in the trades. So I just, you know, hung out with the journeyman. If somebody went out on a job that I've never done before, I said, just take me off the clock.
Right. Yeah.
I'm coming out. I want to know how to do this.
Yeah.
I want to know how to do this.
Yeah, it's funny. I was interviewing a chef the other day, actually talking to them because they're going through my YouTube training, and they're wanting to do a YouTube channel. And we were talking, and said that literally he went down to like New Orleans for a 7-day vacation, works for 4 days because he wants to find out how to make the roux in the base of the stock for almost everything down there. It says literally, I'm there 4 days. I'm going to the same restaurant, working for free, trying to learn how to do this. I'm helping them. I'm watching, and I'm like, that is freaking phenomenal. This video is sponsored by High Level. For your 30-day free trial, go to gohighlevel.com/Roger Wakefield. So let's go back. I thought you started in the warehouse at a union company.
I did.
But you didn't become a plumber there.
I learned what I could. I moved on to a service company.
Okay.
And then I was an apprentice there too, but it was a whole different atmosphere.
Oh yeah. It's completely different.
You know, and then again, it was similar as far as learning the tools and the truck, and I was assigned to a journeyman, and I was his apprentice.
You bet.
There's time to lean, Roger. There's time to clean.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And I learned the other lesson I learned is, you don't walk. You get there quick. There's no lollygagging when the guy's paying you. He was actually, paid my wages out of his earnings. So it was important for him for me to get to the truck,
Earn it,
bring it back. And,
you bet.
Yeah, like you said. And if I'm not doing it, if there's nothing for me to do, I'm putting stuff away and cleaning. It was a great lesson for me. I had the cleanest truck in the fleet. And eventually within a year and a half, I got my own truck after I passed the tests and I took everything off the truck. And, I had the owner of the company was my mentor. He was a flat rate guy from LA, George Brazil, God bless him. And, I learned a lot from him and, and how to do it right. If there's time to do it, do it right, Glenn. And, take the parts off. They time you. He give you a list and you got to find every part and lay it out in the back of the truck on the ground. And he'll come out and look, okay, you passed. Now put it back.
There you go.
But I got my own truck. It was amazing. My first year in my truck, I made more than my dad. He just was blown. My dad was a Teamster truck driver. He couldn't believe the paychecks I was bringing home. It was definitely the right career choice for me. It kind of, finding it out of high school, I was supposed to go to college, but college isn't for everybody. And
it wasn't for me.
Today, and I had a scholarship in track, believe it or not, and full ride to Oregon State, and that went away. I got sick, and it poofed, and it was the best thing ever happened to me. I met my beautiful wife, Arlene, and we've been married 44 years. And
that's fantastic.
Plumbing's been the best thing that ever happened to me, was getting that. And I got that truck. I was making bank, brother. It was so exciting. My dad just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. And it's just taken me to new heights. It's what I did. How
long did it take you to move on from there and open your own company?
Well, I did about 3 years in the service truck. And then there was a recession back in the late 70s. And we were playing pinochle all day long at the shop. It wasn't pretty.
You don't make much money when you're playing pinochle.
We ain't getting paid. We're waiting for work. And then I I found a government job, and I got paid. Even I worked or didn't work.
There you go. Yeah.
But I got a
Just
government
stay here
job.
all day. You'll get a check.
I was there every day. Got a check. I signed up for a contractor's license. I finished up my 4th year in California. You only need 4 years, Roger. And then I was able to get my 4 years signed off by my bosses and contractors that I worked for. And so when I was in my military job, government job, I was able to complete my studies for my contractor's license. And
very nice.
And then I moved on from there to my own little plumbing company in Oceanside, California, me and myself. I opened up a business.
I know how that works.
Opened up my first company in 83, the first time.
Okay.
Had my license, had a plumbing license. And
so along the way, how'd you cross paths with Frank Blau?
Well, when I started contracting, I grew. So I went from that one truck and, trial and error. And eventually I started in 92, got to 92. So I was doing custom homes and multi-tenant and making money. I was working for contract. I didn't like it. I went back to service. It was, but I knew it. The money was there, but it was just I always had a hard time getting paid. So I went back to service.
You bet.
But cash and carry, baby.
Every day. Yeah.
Got to get paid when you leave, though, because you want to go back. And then I started my another service company. Again, I went from, I was a plumbing contractor. I was doing multi-tenants, some custom homes and light service. And then I just said, I'm just going to do it the way I was taught by George Brazil and these other service. I'm just going to go after it. And I bought 2 brand new trucks. I labeled them up, Albert Plumbing, Heating and Air. I had, because it was out of the recession, or there was another bump in the road, which was convenient for me because everybody pulled back on their Yellow Page ads. So when I went into the Yellow Pages, I was up towards the front of the book like I was this giant contractor.
You bet.
I had 2 trucks. I had 2 trucks and I had 1 employee, and I looked like I had 12 trucks. And I opened the doors. The trucks were clean, the uniforms, they're fully stocked. If it's not broke, don't fix it. I went to the same fabricator my mentor went to, built the trucks out with aluminum racks and bends. It was new tools. It was just awesome. I took everything I had and put it into this. And And I started this company. I went from 2 trucks to 6 trucks to 8 trucks to 12 trucks. And, and I just kept doing what I just started to do. You always, the more you learn, the more you earn. I belong to the Plumbing, Heating, Cooling Contractors Association. I've been president of the local San Diego chapter 4 times over my career.
Wow.
On the state board, and worked for national, and, giving back to the trades. But when I went to the PHCC, probably the best thing the most I learned was from the contractors that were there, which George Brazil was one of them, and a couple other big guys. And so I would run into Frank Blau, and, and they're very sharing. I learned flat rate, learn and earn. And I highly recommend anybody that's starting their own company. I mean, you get so far in your career, but it's not for everybody. It's very scary, but there are people out there that'll help you, like you, like there's people like, Roger, that'll help you, but guide you. But the PHCC was great for me as a starting block. And so I met Frank
I love
Blau
what they're
and those
doing.
guys.
They're doing some great stuff.
And then I made it, 60 trucks, and, hanging out with these, different, I call them best practice groups. I was there when they started Nexstar. And I watched George
33 years ago.
Yeah, 33 years ago. Yeah, I just saw that on
You
social
bet.
media.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I've been around, and, blessed by relationships. So it's making friends. People do business with people they know, like, and trust.
Mm-hmm.
And even if they're your competitor, at least you can talk to them, and you won't believe how sharing people can be. And like I said, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Learn from people and put it to practice.
All right. So you get up to 65 trucks. That's a lot of work.
Woo. A lot of work.
You decided to go into water filtration.
I did.
How'd that come along?
Well, it's a story I've told 100 times. I was at home, and I was in the pool, and I saw a commercial for water filtration. And there wasn't any water filtration available to the service contractor at that time. It was, and I just got a bug. I just said, well, why don't I have that at the local supply house? How come, why does this guy have a whole house filtration when I'm the plumbing contractor? I don't have one.
Right.
So I went out, entrepreneur, and I got a bug. Still, had my plumbing companies running itself. I tell my guys laugh. I said I had drug lord money. So, I had a lot of trucks on those. We were
don't
doing
do any work and just check the bank account every day and say,
check the bank
there
account.
you go.
Yeah, drug lord money. But it was, but I had money to invest. So I went out and hired an engineering team. I learned about water. I learned about the effects. In fact, it took me 22 years, to actually read the sticker. Hello, guys. We don't like to read. There's a sticker in the tank of every toilet in America that says, if you add bleach or cleaner, the warranty's void. And it just hit me. And every time I just got into more water and actually looking at what's breaking the water, the pinhole leaks were horrendous across the U.S. And it still is. They're switching to different pipes, and from copper to Wurzbo and plastic pipes and PEX, but it's all affected. That bleach breaks down everything. It's still a problem. So I saw the light go on, hired the engineering firm, trial and error, came out with a couple of versions. We created this product, the Halo 5, and hit a home run. I'm smiling today. It's my biggest seller. 2 decades later, it's one of the most popular products in America today for whole house filtration and conditioning. It's physical treatment, right?
Now I've got one in my house, and got to tell you, I love it. I've probably had it. God, I've had it in there probably almost a year now. Actually, God, it's probably longer than that. It is longer than that. Of course, I had a problem with another brand. One of the plumbers that I brought in says, "Oh yeah, these things are great." Yada yada yada. Just because companies say they're the plumber's choice doesn't mean they always are.
Right.
And I had a problem, called the owner, or I thought he was the owner. I think he's part owner. He came in. First of all, we spend forever out there trying to fix whatever's wrong with the product. They're literally getting like muddy water in the house. And he's like, "You must have piped it wrong." It's like, dude, there's a video out there. Watch it. Pop the whole thing just like it says to. He came in and screamed and yelled at my assistant, which I don't like. I was back in the studio shooting a video, so I didn't even know about it. I walk in, she's crying. It's like, what's going on? Customer service really from another company is what led me to you. And I think since I've met you, more and more plumbers are figuring it out. What is it about your product that just makes it amazing? Because I've never heard I'll start to say this. I've never heard anybody say anything bad about you. But then again, other filter companies are putting out stuff that you're in a lawsuit and you're not. I asked you about that last night and you're like, yeah, that is nowhere near true.
Oh, let's just talk about that.
I'll tell you what, let's come back to that. What makes Halo 5 amazing?
Let's talk about Halo 5. So, it's the people behind it. The product was a home run. It delivers great tasting, highly filtered water throughout the home. And I call it alkaline because we take out the bad, we leave in the good minerals. And, if the pH was there, it's even higher. So neutral pH people is alkaline. So, we deliver on the product side, but it's the customer service where we shine. That's why people, contractors gravitate. If they drop a unit off the back of the truck, we give them a new one. If the contractor
just
puts
drop it off the truck to see y'all. Come on.
Do not do that.
Yeah.
But we got your back. The point is, if you put it in wrong, you got a problem. I got a whole staff of water quality experts that are there to help you. And we go the extra mile. And the guys that I've hired over the years have been in the industry. I got 3 of them that have been in 30 years. They can't believe what we do. He says, what do you mean? You send a circuit board and you don't ask for the old one back, or you just give them one? And
yeah, because I collect circuit boards and I may call just so I can get some more.
Yeah, but you got to have a serial number.
There you go. Oh, well.
But, we send the product out, and the majority of your companies out there today will make you send the broken one back to make sure it's broke. If it's broke, they give you a credit. We just take care of the problem, Roger. We don't have time for that. Neither do my plumbers. When they pull up to a job and the light doesn't come on when they plug it in, they're just panicking. It's just like, crazy.
Especially in a situation like this, we had buried this thing.
Oh my God. Yeah,
so it's not like you just walk up, pull the old one out, slap the new one in. We got a dig crew that comes out, uncovers everything, because I don't want my guys near any filtration system with a shovel. So it's like, y'all dig it up. Then we come out, disconnect it, pull it and replace it and all that. It's funny how it started working in, but they still said there wasn't a problem with the unit. In part of when I teach plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs is how to raise their bottom line, how to raise their revenue. And me and you've talked about this. They're in a house every day.
Every day.
And I promise you, the water's not good. It doesn't take but 10 minutes to test the water, explain this to the customer, and then it's in their hands. You're giving them an amazing option. If a company sells one filtration system a week, what can that do to their bottom line?
If you got one technician sells one Halo option a week, it's $300,000 in new add-on revenue annually. But what if you sold one a day? I got guys out there, and you said electricians. Funny, because across the board, they all have the opportunity as a service company and a service technician to bring up water, because everybody wants it. They just don't know you have it. I have electrical companies that have plumbers on staff that put 4 or 5 Halos in a week.
Wow.
And it's bring it up.
Quick plumber math, y'all. That could be up to $1.5 million added to your bottom line.
If you put one in every day.
Every day. Absolutely.
So, you already paid to get through the door. Why don't you lower your cost per call and bring up water quality? Why are you leaving it? I guarantee you, if you go to a job today and you change that toilet and you don't bring up why it leaked and why they had a flood, and just drive away, they're not going to run behind you, Roger, with a $8,000 check. Say, hey,
please come put one of these in.
Please, I want one. Come back. They're not. You have to bring it up every day, every call.
No, and I love that. And when we started doing this right, you could tell it was wonderful, because we told our technicians, look, I want to see it on the report. Did you offer them this? Did you do the test? Did you show them this? And one of my favorite things is testing the water. And I learned this from you. Testing the water, you talk to the homeowner and say, look, I'm going to fill up these 2 cups of water. Set them down right here. I want you to put your hand in this one. And now you grab the other one and say, okay, so now I'm going to fill up the test kit like it's supposed to be done and put drops in, and we're going to watch it. And gee, look what it did. Do you see how much chlorine is in here? How much chloramine's in here? Do you see what's happening? Do you see what's going on in your water? And then you empty it, you rinse it out. You talk to them just a second, explain it again. You say, okay, go ahead and pull your hand out of this glass of water. You fill that up and you do the test again. And what happens? There's no chlorine.
It's a great example on how, your skin is the largest organ in your body, and you absorb contaminants by not only drinking it, by showering it and bathing. You can absorb contaminants through your skin. It's just a great example to show you that. And we do some cool stuff at Halos is why my products are so popular. It's obviously the customer service, but it's the founded by a contractor for a contractor. I go the extra mile for you, the technician, you, the contractor. We have a little sticker on there that says, "What's in your water?"
Right.
And they can scan it.
I love that.
There's little extra things we do.
Okay. So back to what you said. Your skin's your biggest organ.
Yeah.
It absorbs contaminants.
Yes.
They're sitting here with their hand in it. They pull it out. Now the chlorine's gone. So they see that. But something you said right after that, we shower in it.
And bathe in it.
We bathe in it.
Yeah.
Not only that, we put our babies in a sink of water and wash them off.
Yeah.
And we've got all this extra chlorine going into a little bitty baby system.
Yeah. No, absolutely. You got other contaminants they're known to be in the water too. So it's you can be a filtration system or you can buy one.
Yeah.
I mean, and my company, my family, Halo family, does everything they can to help the contractor to relay that message that you can do something about it.
The stuff you have is great. The education is great. But to me, seeing that test.
Oh my God.
And I've done it. I mean, I've done it out in people's houses, and the look on their face. And a neat thing that you've got too is, tell me about your red Sharpie.
My red Sharpie. Well, that goes back. So we give away red Sharpies, and that goes back to doing the water test. Our brochures actually have a place where you can write the customer's name. We call it the $300,000 Sharpie. One option a week is $300,000. That's so impactful. I get goosebumps thinking about young technicians out there that are, remember I wanted to be top of the board? Well, you can go from the bottom or middle of the board to the top of the board by adding $300,000 annually in revenue. And how exciting is that for a young technician to be blowing by George that's been doing it for 20 years? Well, the young technician is breaking out the water test. You want to see
every house he's walking in.
You want to see an example on how we absorb contaminants through our skin? And it's just mind-blowing. And I have shops that are really good at doing that, Roger. And I got a 5 or 3 truck drain shop that sells, 10 to 15 Halos, and those 3 guys, every one of them do that water test and break out 2 bowls, and they put their hand in it or the customer's hand in it, and they break open the contaminant, QR code, and they talk about what their concerns are after they see all that, and give them a solution.
So tell me about the contaminant QR code. What?
It's a third party.
What I know. What all's in our water that would just blow most people's mind?
Man, it's just the amount of arsenic and stuff that you see commonly. If you pull this QR code, you can actually,
What's the website?
So you can go to halowater.com and you can click on what's in my water. Okay. Remember, this isn't Halo. This is third party.
Right.
You put in your zip code and you click, and it'll pull up. And first thing it pulls up is how many contaminants that exceed the guidelines. And then it says total contaminants. And, and now then you scroll up and you're scrolling up, and it gets down to there, and it starts listing each contaminant. And it's just mind blowing. It says arsenic 28 times or 200 times higher than you'd want it to be. Oh, and then it says carcinogen.
Not 200 times higher than you'd want it to be.
But then they recommend
200 times higher than what they recommend cities get their water cleaned down to.
Crazy. It's crazy.
And another one that nobody likes to hear. There's fecal matter in the water.
There's all kinds of yes. Yeah, there is.
I've had people literally read that report and they're like, "Wait, fecal matter." And it's like, yeah, I mean, they can't clean it all out. And they're like, wait a minute. You're telling me there's fecal water in the drinking water, there's fecal matter in the water that the city delivers to my house. It's like, I didn't tell you that. They did.
Yeah, well, there's issues all over. Just if you use that zip code, you can pull up and see what's going on with your water. And it's again, change your water, change your life. It's life changing. And the amount of money that people spend today on bottled water, it just take your breath away. They could be using it for something else, and invest in your home and family, protecting the health and safety. That's what we preach.
How much money do people average spend on water?
About 100. An average family affords about $150 a month. It's about $1,600 a year. Well, you can finance a whole house filtration system for probably $50-$60 a month and save $100.
Yeah.
Go to the movies. I mean, you really need to pay attention because, I always say, well, Halo saves you money, but whole house filtration and conditioning saves you money. Less shampoos, less detergents. Your clothes last longer. You're not bathing your clothes in bleach. You got those new $300, $600 pair of jeans, and I don't know, wash them in cold water. Like, yeah, swimming pool water.
There you go. Yeah.
So it's mind blowing, and whole house filtration is unstoppable.
Okay, so Halo 5 is your most popular system
today. I mean, my sales are up 100% last month to the year before.
You've got one. Okay, that's your most popular system.
Yes, by far.
If one of my customers called me today and said, "Look, I want the best water filtration complete package, whatever it is," what do you have for that?
Best package. Well, again, what are their concerns and objectives?
They're worried about hardness. They're worried about chlorine. That's their major concern.
It's going to be, if you're worried about hardness and you want spot free, we have the Halo highly filtered softening combo, which is the Halo 5 and our CK10 softener together. And now you get, with that combination, you're going to get a full 10-year warranty on the package.
I thought softeners were only guaranteed for about 5 years.
It's only 5 years, the media. And if you read it, when you put it in, any softener in America has a warranty clause. If there's bleach
or chlorine in
the water, the warranty's void on day one, just like toilets.
Wow.
So Halo has a package, and my Halo products, my Halo 5 has always had a 10-year warranty. Unheard of, industry leading.
Right. The Halo 5, the filter system.
And then I put the softener behind it because we're treating the water coming in for a full 10 years. We guarantee for 10 years that softener system.
That's amazing.
Full 10-year package, highly filtered softening package. It's combo.
So this is a water softener. You got to put salt tablets in. You got to do all that. How often do people have to put salt in? How often should they check it? How do they check it?
Well, they check it. Well, obviously we're going to know when it's not working. There's no salt because you're going to know. If you like softening, if you
like it, the water feels silky.
Silky.
If you don't like it, it feels slimy.
And slippery. You either like it or you don't.
You bet.
And physical treatment is my Halo 5, and it suspends the calcium, magnesium. It doesn't remove it. It does a great job, but you need to wipe away.
And we need calcium and magnesium in our bodies. So
take out the bad and leave in the good. But, when you get into softening, it's going to remove that so you don't have that spot-free finish. If you're that person, you're a highly filtered softening combo by Halo.
This video is sponsored by High Level. We've partnered up with High Level because we believe this is the best all-in-one sales and marketing platform to help you grow your business. For your 30-day free trial, go to gohighlevel.com/Roger Wakefield. And here's what I like about this. When I was talking to people about whole house water filtration systems and hardness, it's messing up your washing machine
badly.
I've got a washing machine I'm having problems with right now. Your ice maker, your dishwasher, your toilets, every one of them, your lavatory faucets, your kitchen faucet, your tub valves, your shower valves, anything that's got internal parts that water goes through, you're putting bad water through it.
Right.
Unless you have really a filtration system and some kind of a water treatment system. If somebody thinks water softener water is slimy, is there another option?
Well, that would be your Halo 5 or your H20 Ultimate, which we both physical treatment. and then they just have to follow the best practices. And, in some areas where it's like 15 grains or less, knocks it out of the park. When it starts to climb up into the 20s in hardness, it still knocks it out of the park, but you're going to have more minerals. So you'll notice when you splash water, it'll leave more talc behind. And if they don't want to deal with that, it's the highly filtered softening combos. But I got to tell you, that Halo 5, I crushed it across the country. I started 2 decades ago. I got to tell you, the softening companies hated me. They still hate me. Because
so the Halo 5 actually still softens the water too?
No, it's a physical treatment.
Okay.
It takes the calcium, magnesium ions and suspends them so they pass through. And, in a lot of areas in the South and along the panhandles where the water is only 4 or 5 grains or 15 grains of hardness, knocks it out of the. It's maintenance-free whole house filtration and conditioning. No reoccurring expense. When you start getting into some areas of Texas and Utah, and I can't tell you how many Halos I sell in Utah. They just follow the best practices because they don't want to use salt.
Right.
They don't want to carry 50-pound bags. We're that solution for that, but you got to know what you're buying, and that's the education of the plumber and the public to make sure that they know what they're buying and match their solution. We actually have an option builder on our website that they can match. They can put in their name, their information, and they could click no spots or click no water, or I don't want any I don't want any drain water. I no electricity.
No wastewater.
Yes, I have all these combinations because again, the family of products, we can match, our family of products to any wants or needs across the United States and Canada. So the good news is it's treatable, Roger. The best thing that the plumbers can do for their customers is ask the questions and listen. They'll tell you, no, I want spot free, or no, I don't want to carry a 50-pound bag of salt. And we have some great products and great solutions. You can even use my tool to get you to the right one.
That is
it's
neat.
AI driven. It's automated. It's amazing. So, and it's free to use.
So I talk to plumbers about whole house water filtration.
Right.
I talk to them about slab leaks, leak detection, because I think it's something that most of them have other people do. Whole house water filtration is probably the biggest. I'm not super big on water softener systems, but we've agreed I'm going to try it. I'm going to install it and see, okay, it to me is the slimier. Can I get used to the silky? And different people are different. I've heard it defined both ways. Yeah. To be honest, the first time, and I think it's why I think of it like that, I went down to Austin to see my dad. He had moved down there to go do some work. And I went down there, spend a weekend down there, and I get in the shower. And I think I'm in the shower for 30 minutes. I'm like, I cannot rinse this soap off. And I thought it was the soap.
No.
And I was a plumber at the time. So it's like, I didn't even know what hard water, soft water. I've heard about it, but it's like, okay. But I am in here and I just kept rinsing and rinsing. It's like, I cannot get this off. And I think that's why I think of it the way that I do. But then later, learning more about water filtration and water treatment and stuff like that, seeing how it damages. I mean, if you don't have a water treatment system before a tankless water heater, you're SOL. Warranty's gone.
Warranty's gone.
And it's like, I don't think enough plumbers tell people that.
No.
They don't explain it to them. But not just tankless, regular tank types too. So you said you can learn to ask the right questions.
Yeah.
That are going to help people. What's the first question you ask someone?
Are you happy with your water quality in your home? Have you ever thought about whole house water filtration to protect your home and family from the aggressive water? And this is something that you don't open with, Roger. Obviously, the successful, I call them Halo Jedis out there. I got a guy on my Facebook page. He put out a challenge to his company. He was going to sell 20 Halos in 20 days. And I know the owners, right? And they're the rock solid, great guys. My Plumber Plus in Virginia. Awesome. So this kid is Isa. And so he sold 1, sold 2, sold 3, got to 12. And it's like, I'm getting these text messages. And I was at a function. I think I was at the Next Star function in Orlando. And they were both, the owners were there. We're looking, waiting for his next page. He's trying to get to 20. Well, he made it. He made it to 14. he sold 16 that month. And how he does it is he doesn't even talk about the problem he was out there for with the customer. He just talks to the customer and engages with them and builds this rapport. And then finally, hour later, they start looking at the problem after he does his whole house inspection, because I want to know what's going on in your home. And then he brings up, after he's showed him the toilet, when he goes in and checks the toilet, make sure it's not leaking, and his hand comes out with the tank, the bolt. Yeah, I got red ones now. I'm always looking for the black corky flap.
You bet.
Your hands. I can remember this as a plumber, but the tank, the bolts are still rubber and they're still falling. It's just, he comes out with his black, whoa, your rubber's falling apart. Let's do a water test. And they do a water test, and it's got chlorine in it. It's more chlorine than recommended for a swimming pool. And he says, you want to see what else is in your water? And he lets them use the QR code. And then he asks, what do you ever thought about whole house water filtration? And what would your concerns be? And then, they're buying bottled water. I want safe, healthy drinking water, and then you come up with options. It could be the super softening combo to the Halo 5, or just our RO, the RO Ultra Plus that takes everything out. Just let them make a decision, right? Options are key. But smiling, this kid's got the smile that will stop a train. He stops the Halo train. I love this kid from Virginia. He's honest, and he loves his customers. He loves what he's doing. It just shows through. The guys that are out there, and I travel, I've been doing it for 20 years, and the guys that are very, very successful in water and in their plumbing, business in general, they love what they're doing, but they love their customers, and they want to do the right thing for them. And if you're not bringing up water quality, somebody else will. Why? They want it. They just don't know you have it.
No, and you're right. And that's why I tell plumbers, whole house water filtration, slab leaks, leak detection, stuff like that.
Everything.
HVAC people, indoor air quality, UV. I mean, there's a ton of things that they can do there. Electricians, whole house GFCIs,
right?
Solar, wind turbines. The opportunities out there for anybody in any trade to say, hey, I'm going to step out and do something unique, something major, something new, something different. And I look at all these things, and I mean, even leak detection, you've got to buy the equipment and tools. UV filtration and stuff like that, that's a easy add-on. You can just buy it and do it. The air test machines are expensive. That's why every HVAC tech in the world doesn't carry one with him. Electricians, if you're doing solar, wind turbines, in fact, there's a lot of equipment involved there. Whole house water filtration is you make an offer, you sell it, you buy the part and install it, just like every other piece of plumbing equipment that there is.
It's a water test kit provided by Halo for free.
Yeah.
I'm gonna die here. If you don't, when you get out of the truck and you don't put it in your pocket, you'll don't have it and you won't use it.
Yeah.
And the most successful guys that I have that in selling, moving, providing options for their customers is they get out of the truck, they put that test kit in their back pocket. Now they have it. So when it comes up during their conversation and why the toilet broke, why the gaskets let go and, flooded the home, why they don't have water at that washing machine, and why that tank was just scaled up and there's no water flowing through it. It's now they have an answer, and they can provide them with, some information, added information, and to guide them.
And what I like is walk in with your kit.
Absolutely.
Walk in with your inspection report. It just shows your tests. It shows this. What problems did you find in the house that could be attributed to the water? Right. Bathroom, kitchen, laundry room, yada, yada, yada. What appliances do they have that run on water? Right. Gee, that's really easy. You've got an ice maker. You've got a garbage disposal. You've got a water heater. Yeah. You've got a tankless water heater. You got tub and shower valves. You list these things down, and you come in, you set that report down. It's already got their name on it. So you're like, look, I've filled it out. I really got to go ahead and use it. And then set your test kit on it. But walk in and say, okay, let's go to the kitchen first so I can set this stuff down. And you go and set that down. And when they're looking at it, say, don't worry, we'll get to that later if we need to. Yeah. I just want to bring it in because normally this solves a lot of the people's problems. And you start off your first 1 minute of the call like that, they're already thinking, okay, wait, we got something to finish up here. They're not going to tell you no.
No.
And, if you're in 3 houses a day and you do that test 3 times a day, there's no reason you shouldn't be able to sell one of those a day. The odds are in your favor. Just by, it's a number, Clarence Avant, Godfather of Motown. Life's about numbers.
Yeah.
It's always about the numbers.
It is.
And I love that. The more people you talk to, the more opportunities you have to sell it. And I'm listening to you a while ago thinking, okay, $300,000 a year.
It's life-changing.
Well, the plumber, let's get back to the plumber. If I'm a plumber and I do an extra $300,000 a year and I'm on a 20% commission plan, I just personally made an extra 60 grand a year.
Absolutely.
Now, if I sell one of those a week,
big money.
Yeah. I made an extra 300 grand a year. Extra.
Revenue. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, everybody wins is what I really like about water. And, I'm so glad I am where I am today, helping contractors, visualize what the opportunity is on add-on, because it's reoccurring, Roger. What happens after 10 years? They buy a new one.
You bet.
I've been 2 decades in.
And if they love this thing, and if you've got your CRM set up right, shout out to Go High Level. If you've got all that stuff set up right, at 9 years, it sends out an email and a text saying, hey, Glenn, want to let you know your water filtration system has apparently been doing what it's supposed to do. Yeah. But it's 9 years old. And a time comes for everything. So we're going to let you know now that over the next year, you may want to start saving up money because it is time to replace it. Right. And you'll start noticing your water quality is not what it used to be.
It's amazing. I mean, without any notices, I see it every 10 to 12 years. We start getting phone calls and we look up the serial number. If the contractor's in there and activated the warranty, we will send it right back to them. We're not in the water business. We don't compete. We're not online. We're not in the box stores. Everything we do is contractor driven. And that's what we do at Halo.
First of all, tell everybody again who you are, what you do, and where they can find out more about Halo.
Well, my name's Glen Blavet. I'm the founder and CEO of Halo Water Systems. And you can get more information at halowater.com, or you can call the Halo team at 800-591-0538. And they'd be happy to assist you with training, product knowledge, where to find it, where you can buy a Halo same day, next day across the United States and Canada today.
And you can get people in your office to train your whole team, which is phenomenal. I mean, I've sat through it a couple of times. It's like, oh my gosh, this is so good.
That's our number one is on-site training.
Yeah, that is huge.
Because most people, guys are getting in the water and they find other companies before I don't know how they don't know Halo. Then they go, I had to go all the way to Wisconsin. I said, why? We'll come to you. You'll come to us.
Right, exactly.
Their head spins around.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, we'll come to you. I got trainers in every city and every state in America today.
That is great.
To help you.
So let's go back to this lawsuit that you're...
Oh, the notorious lawsuit.
You're not in at all.
Man, 47 years in business, and I've never seen anybody go to market or try to get a market share by bringing up something that's false. The VP of National Sales for Atlas Filtry put out an email, and the email says, are you part of the Halo lawsuit? So if anybody's seen that,
they think you're involved in a lawsuit.
And I'm not. There is no lawsuit, Roger. There never has been a lawsuit. They got some information from a fake bait and click site, was trying to get clicks, and they apparently thought it was real. But it's not. So if anybody wants any information, just contact us. We'll send you, full information on it. But yeah, there is no lawsuit. There never has been, and I have never seen anybody go to market or try to get a market share by outright lying.
Right. About the competition.
About the competition.
That's nuts.
They're gonna hear from my attorney, obviously.
Oh yeah.
It's a pretty big deal what they did. So I just wanted you guys in the Halo Nation that are watching. I put out a notice with to turn on. Obviously, Roger, Halo's going to be on there today. our rebuttals out there. We're sending out a video rebuttal, but it's never happened. It's fake news.
Okay.
Yes.
So now there's some other fake news.
Yes, there
You
is.
used to be a topless dance. Okay, no, that was somebody else. Okay, so rumor says you're going into the big box stores.
Oh God, yeah. They also said that. Yeah, they also said I'm in the big box stores.
I've never seen Halo in the big box.
Two decades. Two decades. I've never sold anything to Home Depot, Lowe's. I've never been on e-commerce. In fact, I don't know, was it 11 years, 12 years ago when Barnett Interline Brands got bought by Home Depot.
Yeah, so they can legally sell you now. Because they can order it through Barnett and say, "Hey,
no, we don't sell it
right into Home Depot." But I mean, that's what a lot of people are doing.
So what I did is I walked away from Barnett and Home Depot 11 years ago. I took my product and I walked away.
Because Barnett was carrying it.
They were carrying it.
But as soon as Home Depot bought them, they're like, "Well, we can sell everything Barnett sells. We own them."
No, we walked away. I walked away from about $3.5-4 million worth of business. I just took it somewhere else. My commitment to our industry, Roger, I call it ours because we kind of started the same time and down the same path. We just ended up in different places. But it's our industry. When I say our industry, when you're sitting there, contractor, take your industry back. Water's ours. It's the plumbing, heating, air conditioning, and service industry. It's not necessarily the other franchise water. It's our business. So I'm a big, supporter of you guys out there for that. And never been in Home Depot. That's another lie. I just can't believe they said that and put it in writing. And the guy was so bold, Roger, you'd love this one. He says, when I talk to plumbers, I ask them if they're part of the Halo lawsuit. There isn't one. I just flabbergasted. I just can't believe it. Well, we'll just see what the end results are. The rebuttal's available, 800-591-0538. If you're interested, we'll send you. You can see the email. You can see my attorney's letter where, we've ceased and desist the phony website that was out there. It was never real. Whatever this guy, I didn't know that existed until I got a phone call and I said, wow, okay, well, class action lawsuit. Well, no. And so we had to write a cease and desist, and you can't find it anymore, but unbelievable. I'm shocked. I'm shocked that this happened.
Okay, so we're coming down to the end here. Tell me about the best day you ever had at work.
The best day I've ever had at work. Wow. Best day. Well, we all know what the answer is. The best day of your life is when you met your wife.
There you go. That's why I said at work.
But the best day at work.
And I mean, it can be plumbing, it can be water filtration, it can be anywhere at all. What is your best day ever?
Best day ever. Best day ever at work. When I came to work and I came to work and I realized that Halo is a family-owned business, but it's not only a family-owned business, it's my employees are family and how they treat their jobs and take care of the customers. And I walk away and we have a tremendous footprint. And tremendous growth. And this might not mean anything to a lot of you guys out there, but we've grown after the last 5 years, and the competition can hear this, 30% every year growth for the last 5 years. Good, and I contribute that, and this year recently I just took a breath and just said, oh my God, look what we've done.
Yeah.
Best, and it's probably one of the best things that I actually took a breath. I realized what we've accomplished and what we're striving to do in the future. But it's the people behind the brand that really make my day. When I come into the office and I'm greeted with smiles, and when they're talking to customers that are calling up that don't understand, but after they're done, they understand what they have and they got a great product and it's doing what it wants. Oh, the good news is it's treatable. You want to do more? We can help you do more. And it's just to see it all click from distribution to the end users, to the technicians calling me. I told you I pick up the phone.
Right.
I still do. After 20 years, I got guys that call me that are there from the beginning that have their own companies, and they go, hey, I just had to say hi.
That's cool.
And I sold 3 Halos this week.
I love it.
And it's, it's that revenue stream. I wish I had that in my early days. I understand the numbers. Like you said, it's all about the numbers. Right. And honestly, guys, if you 1 out of 3 would be terrific, but it's 1 out of 20 if you're just laying the flyer down, doing the water test and writing the results in the $300,000 Sharpie. But the guys that really believe in protecting the health and safety of the homes and family you're serving today, it's a long one. First and foremost, you're going to win more than that.
Yep.
You could win 1 a day. I got guys that sell 1 a day, Roger, and it's
I love that.
amazing.
Okay. What is the worst thing that's ever happened to you at work? The worst day you've ever had?
We're talking Halo.
Okay.
The worst Halo day. I got to talk about my contracting days. Lots of those. But the Halo, the worst day when I came, man, it's the one recently when I started getting phone calls, where people are questioning my integrity or just hey, is there a lawsuit? I said, you know me for 20 years. No. Okay, goodbye. Maybe that was horrible seeing that in print. I got it from one of my distributors. And that was just recently. It would probably be one of the worst days I've had. I just kind of threw me for a loop. But we're back on our feet, and there's haters out there I can't control. So,
oh yeah, you got to get on social media. It's the same way.
And there's been challenges. Everybody has challenges. It's how you get through the challenge.
Good deal.
Look at America and COVID.
Oh yeah, we're going through it.
We're going through it, but we've been through it with COVID. I mean, I am so thrilled with my team, but I'm even more thrilled with the Halo Nation. I mean, the support that I get across the U.S. is phenomenal. My competitors call it a cult. They don't understand it.
Right. Well, I get that.
Why people gravitate towards Halo, but it's the people behind the brand. So, bad days, that was it. I mean, I am enjoying life.
I love that. You deserve it. You really do. So, one more time, tell everybody who you are, how people can get in touch with Halo, and.
Well, again, my name is Glen Blavet. I'm the founder and CEO of Halo Water. And if you want to get some more information on training on-site or online real-time water expert certification, you guys can do this online. You can start the journey today. All you have to do is call the Halo team at 800-591-0538 or visit our website at halowater.com. It can't be any easier than that. I'm not giving out my cell number.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
But I think everybody in America already has my cell number.
Call me later, y'all. I'll give it to you. Okay, so I want you to go back to the day after you graduated high school.
Yeah.
You walk out that Monday morning to go find a job, go to work, get up. You walk out of the house. If you could go back and see little Glenn that morning, right now, what advice would you give him?
Jeez, I wouldn't have changed a thing. Becoming a plumber is the best thing that happened to me or could have happened to me. Was going to that first job interview, getting my hands dirty, fixing things. So rewarding. I mean, you have jobs, and the numbers balance, but when you put in a toilet and it flushes, or you give somebody hot water when they don't have it, or the water's coming out of the ceiling and you fix it, it is so, so rewarding. So, I wouldn't change a thing. My family has flourished and I mean, where I am today, I wouldn't be where I am today, Roger, without plumbing.
You bet.
And across the board, you've touched on it a couple of times, is add-on sales and, air scrubber, water scrubber, electricians are doing it. Look outside the box. Do more with less. You got one call up, but
make it a good one.
Yeah, but take care of the customers. If you really have the customers, you have the customer's interest at heart, best interest at heart, you're going to win. And it's going to be unbelievable. So keep doing what you're doing out there, guys. I'm so grateful you had me here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Glenn. I appreciate it.